Hi everyone, Emma Burlow. Thank you for the introduction, Peter. I do work for a company called Resource Futures. That's us. We are a B Corp. Anyone familiar with B Corp? Yeah. Great movement to be involved in. If you're not, have a look. We basically are environmental consultancy, but we try and do things ethically, and we're non-profit distributing. Just a little bit about what we do. We do a lot of stuff. If it touches waste and the circular economy, we probably do it. So we do everything from local authority, waste composition, getting down and dirty, what's in the curbside bins, right through to what I look after, which is the circular economy policy, helping DEFRA, all the way through to the future sort of strategy piece. So that's about us. If you want to know about us, go to our website. That's me. I have a wonderful job title, best job title I've ever had. Head of Circular Economy. So that's all I do, which is fabulous, and I've got a team of people, and that's all they do, which is also brilliant. So we look at stuff around principles and implementation, and as Peter said, my love and joy is supporting businesses. That's all I've ever done. I love working with SMEs, the smaller the better, and my job really is to translate circular economy stuff, which can often be a bit up here and a bit academic, down into kind of everyday, okay, what can I do? And that's what I'm going to talk to you a bit about today. Okay, I'm also a mentor for the Circular Economy Club that I think was mentioned, and I've just started being involved in something called Sustainable Entrepreneurs, which a guy called Daniel from Warfit has set up. So if anyone wants to know about that, that's for people who want to set up a sustainable business, kind of working and haven't got time. It's kind of a mentoring scheme for them. So that's me. Okay, I may have a title, Head of Circular Economy. I also have the unenviable task of never being able to explain to people what it is I do. And 25 years later, I still can't explain. It was a lot easier when I was an environmental advisor. This could be my mum actually, but you know, how do you explain to people what circular economy is? It's really difficult. Okay, and so when you look at this, it's no wonder. I mean, this is a brilliant graphic. Don't get me wrong, it's fabulous. But the reason you can't see the words is because it's too many and too small. If I sit down with a client or a company, even a startup, and try and explain this, it's really hard to find out where they sit and what's important to them. And that's why I was really interested to come tonight to hear more about this. Okay. So how do I talk to businesses about it, and what's the sort of language that we should all be using to try and progress this change a lot quicker? This is great. Other people did the theory. That was brilliant. Thank you very much. This is the result I often get when I talk to people about circular economy. What? So is that like recycling? Yeah, kind of. But what about this? What about that? Oh, scratching head. No, we don't really do that. The first person I sat and talked to tonight was really fascinating. Well, actually, both of you were both service sector, not involved in making widgets, not making big bad producty stuff, not making plastic water bottles. So really interesting to see who's in the room and how it relates to all of you guys. Other people have brilliantly put together wonderful diagrams that I could never put together to explain how it all works. I won't go through them, but I want to show you the differences in a way that I try and explain to people. Yes, you do need design, and that's right at the nub of all this, and people say, oh, if we only designed out waste, it would all be fine. But most people I meet are not there. You don't even have control over that piece. So you have to deal with the later bits, which is the use phase. So when the product's in use, how can I deal with it? How can I extend its life, etc., etc. So I often talk to people about these enabling things. What do we need in place to make these things happen? And I think what's really, really exciting for SMEs is that there's so much around this. You don't have to be the next Uber or Airbnb. There is so much tech and digital and platforms and all sorts of things that are needed to enable all these certain things to happen, that the opportunities are endless. So it doesn't have to stop with the product. I really like this, and I credited Catherine Wheatman for it, because it's brilliant. I try and explain to people that it's about keeping things in cycle. Okay, I really like this, and as soon as you dispose of something, all these bits coming off are all waste value, okay? So the whole idea is about keeping that value in a loop. You go, okay, but I'm sold it to somebody. There's your problem, okay? Once it's sold, it's gone. So I said to me, okay, but how could you maybe think about getting that product back? Oh, God, A repeat customer or a new customer? Well, a repeat customer, clearly, all businesses know that, right? So, if you get your customers back, that's good, is it? Yeah, okay. So start talking to people who don't know anything about circular economy, about customer loyalty, about getting their customers back, because that's what all businesses want, right? And then I really like this idea, because we talk to people about linear economy, no one uses these words, right? Only us guys. So if you start saying, you make something and it inevitably goes in the bin, you've sold it once, okay? And then everyone knows what recycling is, and that's, you know, the big saviour. And then you go, okay, you might get a bit recycled, and then it goes in the bin. Same problem. But if you show them this and say, what if it didn't go in the bin? You know, inevitably a bit might go in the bin. But this is all value. This is one shot of the cherry, if you like. This is maybe one of the two if you're lucky. And that value is all in the recycling sector mainly, it's not in businesses here. But what if you could retain some of that value? So I suppose what I've learned over the years and working in business support is that you need to keep the whole language within the sort of normal realms of business. Because my job, I see it as de-risking, even looking at circular economy. Take the risk out of it, take the mystery out of it, and just talk about, well, what about innovating? You know, what about doing something that gets your customers back? What about doing something that will put you ahead of the competition? And then we get into the whys and wherefores. Don't get me wrong, there are businesses that want to do the right thing, or they want to go carbon net zero, or they want to, you know, be ethical. But I want to work, my goal in life is to work with mainstream businesses and make this a mainstream thing and not a niche. Okay? So, I think this is from El Warm in London. So I do steal people's stuff, but I try to credit it. So I just really like it because it's really simple. So when people say, okay, I don't get the circular economy thing, tell me what else. So it reminds me, I was with a company, they make prestige golf caddies. I remember this conversation really well. I was there like 45 minutes, chatting to this guy. I actually went to school with his brother, we got on really well. They make these luxury golf caddies at like £2,000 a piece. Got 45 minutes in, he said, still don't get it. Oh my god, I really, you know, he was just humouring me basically. And then I said, so your golf caddies, £2,000 a piece. I said, would you like to sell them? Yes. Trouble is, too expensive for most people. Well, if I went to play golf, I'd have to hire one. Right. Oh, we don't hire them. Like, well, what if you did hire them? So suddenly your market's gone, whoop, so a load of other people can access your product, and they've got a really high resale value because they're really expensive. You know? Oh yeah, some people sell them on eBay. And I'm like, oh, so they're selling them on eBay, but you're not. And so, you know, we started talking, and he hasn't gone properly circular economy, but he's got his own secondary shop now, like an outlet shop for his returns, you know, that gets his buggies back. So I'll come on to that in a minute in terms of you don't have to get in the whole hog, you just get an element that suits your business, and that's what suited Mark and the golf caddies. So I won't go into too many of these, so I imagine most of you are familiar, or you can read, so you know what they mean. But I think it's really important to not get too hung up on, oh, you know, there has to be these 5 or these 6 or these are not the same. The way I explain it, and we can circulate slides so you can read the detail, is there are all these options and have a look at them all. And what's really good about this is you must explore. It might not be, you know, it might not be reuse that's your thing. It might be lease, or it might be repair, you know, or maintain. Or remanufacture, and it's just having all those little options open to you. But whatever happens, don't get stuck in the recycling trap. You know, there's so much more. I think what's interesting here is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 6, 7, probably about 10 ways that you could say, well, I'm doing something circular in my business. And then all the enablers we talked about, the platforms and the digital sharing and all that stuff. So recycling is just one of those pieces. I thought this was funny today. Sharing platforms are part of the circular economy. The more we can, you know, share resources. But I actually looked something up on Google, and Rover for dogs came up as a sharing economy platform, which I thought was really novel. But I suppose if you're sharing a dog, you're not buying a dog, you're not, you know, one of the resources that you need to So some of the companies I've worked with, I've tried to pick examples that you may not know, so they're not kind of widely advertised examples, and they're all examples I've worked with personally, so you can ask me about them. So Globe Chain, really interesting organisation, set up by a lady who used to work in the city. She got an idea of all this waste going on in London, and she set up this reuse platform probably about 6 or 7 years ago. So it's going really well. They take items from shop fit outs and office moves and that sort of thing, so it's very commercial. And they put them on this platform, and then charities or other organisations can access those goods. So a bit like Free Cycle, but for businesses in a way. Doing very well. Sponsored by quite a few big chains that pass on their seconds and their end of stock and those sorts of things. Really good. Community Repaint is actually one that Resource Futures have looked after since the 90s. Reuse of paint. So I want to give you some examples to let you know that this is all very common, and an example of an enabler is a company in Scotland called Topolytics that we've done some work for, and they're all about understanding waste data. So anyone who's had the joy of working in waste will know that the data around waste is very difficult, and so they are looking at mapping that so we can understand where the value and the resources are. A lot of the issues with circular economy is about understanding the value in things, so understanding what you've got and where. So if you're a manufacturer, it's about understanding where the pieces are along your supply chain and where the value is, so where you might be able to put some raw materials back into that. This is really, really useful. So if any of you are into GIS or mapping or software, there's loads going on in that space. So they just won an award from Google, for example, based on that. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Glasgow Wood, and the reason for this, what we're looking at today. We talk about propositions in the work I do, so supporting businesses. Glasgow Wood came to us and they said, we want to do all these things, and we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. It was all great. And by the end of a few months working with them, we got them to settle on being this reuse hub. And the reason I wanted to tell you about this was because I want people to start thinking about, what is my thing? What is my proposition? What am I going to sell to people, and be very clear about it? Because for some reason we do that for normal business. We're very clear. I sell the fastest car, and it's the most amazing car, and it's going to make you look amazing. And so when it comes to circular economy, we kind of do a bit of that, and I do this, and it's FSC, and then it's ethical, and then you recycle it all, but you can, and we just dabble all over the place. And we're not very clear about what it is. So if you've got a business and you want it to be circular in a certain sort of way, we work with companies to make very clear to the user why it's better than product B, what value they're offering, what their unique selling point is, and what they know, who's going to use it, why, where, and how. And you'd be so surprised how many companies don't have that market information. So they don't know who they're selling to, don't know why it might be more expensive. They don't really understand the problem and the process. So this tends to be what people think is going to happen. We're going to go on a circular journey, and of course we know this tends to be where we get involved and we try and help them. We do a lot of work for Zero Waste Scotland. It's just a graphic of the kind of support we do, research, building cases, running trials, etc. So this was some work I did recently with a company looking at reusable cups. Very, very topical. So lots of market research around the different brands, the different price points. What became important for this company was the logistics, how they're going to move the cups around, how they're going to get them washed, the enormous amount of cost involved. So we had to price all that up, put it into a financial model and also a carbon model. So what's really useful now is that company's got this information. They can go to the clients they're trying to sell to, and they can say, look, we know it costs this much, but this is the difference in carbon. You can put that, carbon saving on your, against your targets. So a building like this, for example, might want to go net zero. They might be looking for that sort of information. Before they had that, it was kind of like, well, we just want to do reusable cups, that's like the thing. It's not going to be enough. Really importantly, I think a lot of people think this is a massive leap, to be circular. It's like a huge thing, and it's like a holy grail. And I'm really passionate about not talking about leaps of faith. And I have been to lots of conferences and people go, right, we've got an axe now, it's a leap, and you've all got to jump off your normal business wagon and get on the new business wagon, But actually, I think it's all about lots and lots of small incremental steps. And almost, daily or weekly, just incrementally changing how you do things. Because people in business don't like taking huge risks. They don't want to throw the baby out of the bathwater. So it's all about testing the market and seeing where you go. Things will go wrong. So this is a classic example of Miele, a well-known so-called environmental brand, went down a service model, so they send you these in the post, these are little jobbies you put in your washing machine. They're vile, plastic, it's all covered in stuff, you can't recycle. What are the bows all about? So things will go wrong, they will have got no feedback, and they move on, okay? But they're still moving down a journey of, that's a subscription model, so. Okay. So I think to summarise, nice picture of a tree, what I'm going to say is, don't worry about perfect. Don't worry about your circular idea, and hopefully you've all got one nestled away in your head somewhere. Don't worry about it having to tick everyone's boxes and be all amazing and, it has to be the next big thing. Just go for it and take a step forward and think, what can I do that's better than yesterday? What can I do that's more circular? And it will come. I've been working in this field, it wasn't called circular economy 5 years ago even. It was called resource efficiency or whatever. And it's moving so fast. And there's so many enablers now. And I sometimes say to people, you can't, unless you happen to be an oak tree, you're unlikely to be 100% circular. So, do what you can and be brave about it. And I think that's me. Necessity. We know we have to do it. Businesses need to do it to keep moving forward. And we've clearly got a big climate crisis on our hands. So if that's not a better time to innovate, I don't know what is. And that's me. And all the social media things. Thank you.